The topic we have for today is chapter number 1, Chemistry of Representative Elements, that is part of the Inorganic Chemistry. And from this chapter, last time we did the Kastner-Kellner cell for the manufacturing of the sodium hydroxide. Today we will study the reactions of the sodium hydroxide, also known as the caustic soda, along with the inter-board education questions that you will get in your final board examinations. First, reaction of sodium hydroxide with acid. Sodium hydroxide is a base, so when it reacts with acid, it forms salt and water. Since it has sodium ions, so it will form the sodium salt. Here you can see in this equation that sodium hydroxide is reacting with hydrochloric acid and ultimately forming the sodium chloride and water. When sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid, it forms sodium sulfate and water. You can see that this is a double displacement reaction. Both the cations and anions are simply replaced with each other. Reaction with ferric chloride. The reaction of sodium hydroxide with ferric chloride gives the ferric hydroxide along with the sodium chloride salt. This ferric hydroxide is brown color precipitates. Reaction with aluminium salt. When sodium hydroxide, also known as the caustic soda, reacts with the aluminium metal, it will form the aluminate salt. In this equation, you can see that this reaction is taking place in the aqueous medium in the presence of water. The sodium hydroxide reaction with aluminium in the presence of water, aqueous medium, gives the sodium aluminate salt along with the production of the hydrogen gas. Now, next is the reaction with zinc, which is also a metal. With aluminium, it formed aluminate salt, and with zinc, it will form the zincate salt. Sodium hydroxide reacts with zinc, forming the zincate salt, which is the sodium zinc oxide, plus hydrogen gas is also formed during this reaction. The last reaction that we have in our course for the sodium hydroxide is with chlorine. It reacts with chlorine to form sodium chlorate, sodium chloride salt, and water. All these reactions are most important reactions that we have in our curriculum, and you get good equations from these in your board examinations. This is part of your inorganic chemistry. So how you will get the questions, I will discuss further. For the Board of Education questions, you get it in your 8 marks descriptive. Write a balanced chemical equation for the following reactions. Most of the chemical properties that you have in the chapter, you get this in your descriptive, because in inorganic chemistry, we do not have the format of short question answers with the questions in equation, but in descriptive you get the equations for 8 marks. For 8 marks, it means eventually you will be getting 8 equations. It means each equation carry 1 mark. Make sure that when you attempt the equations, you must write complete and balanced equation. What does it mean? Complete equation means that complete product must be formed. For example, as in previous equation, you can see that when zinc and sodium hydroxide were reacting, it was forming sodium hydroxide, zincate, sodium zincate, and hydrogen gas. So both the products must be mentioned. Similarly, the number of moles must also be mentioned, keeping the equation balanced. If you are writing the equation in the balanced form, all the products are mentioned, only then you will get full marks. So this is how you get the questions. The first is chlorine gas is passed through the aqueous solution of caustic soda. Caustic soda means sodium hydroxide. Chlorine gas means reaction of sodium hydroxide with chlorine. So in book it is mentioned directly as the reaction, but you get a proper statement for each reaction in your board examination questions. You write the equation and you get full marks. A piece of aluminium is dipped in sodium hydroxide solution. It means reaction of sodium hydroxide with aluminium metal. Hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide. Simple reaction of sodium hydroxide with the acid, in which we have two acids, hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. Ferric chloride is mixed with aqueous solution of caustic soda. That means the reaction of sodium hydroxide with the ferric hydroxide, which also gives the production of the hydrogen gas. Again, complete balanced equation must be mentioned to attain full marks in your board examinations. Reaction of zinc with sodium hydroxide. Sulfuric acid reacts with the sodium hydroxide. Make sure that the equations you get, you must attempt all the 8 equations to get full marks in your board examinations. There is no need for any explanation, any description, or even the name of the product or the reactant. You just simply have to state the balanced chemical equation in your board examination, and then you will get full marks. What are the things that you must remember when attempting the question? Number 1, understand the statement that which equation they are asking for. You will not be getting the equations, you get the statement. If you get the equation, then the reactants will be mentioned and you have to write the products. If you are not able to understand the statement, you can simply see what chemicals they are talking about, and then you can relate it to the equations that you have studied from your curriculum and write it down. Then the second key is that when you attempt this question, make sure that the equation you write is complete. It means the reactants must be mentioned, and then all the products that are formed by the reactants must also be written down in your copy. Third most important thing, the equation that you write must be balanced equation. It means the number of moles on the reactant as well as the product side must be balanced. So these are the key things that one should remember while attempting this question in your board examinations. And if you will keep all these points in your mind, you will get full marks in your board examination. This is all for today. Thank you so much.